The most memorable moment here in Monterey. As a diver, it's hard because having a couple hundred dives under my belt, it's difficult to really put down the most memorable dive or even the most memorable moments, because every single time you dive in Monterey, it's different, but it's the most. I used to be religious, and when you go diving, it's the closest spiritual moments that you can really have, because it's just you. Yes, you have a buddy, but your buddy doesn't talk to you. You can try to talk to your buddy, but it's just not. It's not the same, and I'm so glad you don't talk to your buddy. So, in Monterey, being one of the most renowned diving areas, it's just gorgeous. It's not the 100 to 200 feet visibility that a lot of other divers are used to, or the warm water. You have to put on all this extra gear, 7mm wetsuits, extra weight. It's cold, but when you get in the water and you just hear, bubbles, the waves, it's amazing. So that's why it's really hard to do your most memorable wildlife, and I have two, so I'm sorry that it's hard, but my first would definitely be San Carlos Beach or Breakwater here in Monterey. It's where everyone gets certified from the Bay Area. They come down to Monterey, but it's the most gorgeous because the kelp forest, to seeing that forest come up all the way to the top, the sun hits it just right, sea lions, fish, even birds. That's where I've seen a lot of just amazing things, from walls and walls of jellyfish all over yourself, to thousands of sardines and anchovies swimming around trying to escape from you because they think that you're something else. So that's one of the most amazing places, is when you go in, you sit there, and you just watch God's light coming through the kelp and just fish. I've spent a whole dive in one spot, peeing in my wetsuit over and over again to warm up, just watching that one moment. And I'm so glad my friends are photographers, because they sit in the same area over and over again, so I can just take it all in. So that's, if people dive in Monterey and they know what I'm talking about. It's just, they see that and they're like, yep, I know. It's amazing. And Breakwater is so much life in this area, this much. Because you can look at crabs, tiny little fish, different types of barnacles, anemones, and you can literally hang out in one area for the whole dive. So that's one memorable. And the second one would be off of Cannery Row, off of a boat. We were doing a advanced class, and it's a place where they call Metridium Mountain. So you go off of a boat into the water, you go down the anchor line, and the anchor goes straight into this pinnacle that's filled with Metridium. So 3 feet high, just ghostly white anemones. So that whole mountain is filled with that. And as a cold water diver, once, like I was saying, you go with those tiny little things, so you're just sticking your head in cracks and you're looking at all that cool thing. I was following this fish, and I was like, you're so cool, you're so cute. And all of a sudden, I hear my buddy just screaming, like, and I was like, oh my goodness, what's happening? So I look over, he grabs me, starts shaking me, and he turns around and points, and it was a 5-foot-long mola mola, ocean sunfish, about 50 feet away. And so 5 feet long, probably about 5 feet tall. and it's just swimming 50 feet away, and the visibility was about 80 feet that day. It was gorgeous. So you can see all the other groups just staring at this thing. And it's just, this blundering object coming up. And when me, I'm like, oh yeah, I got it. I want to go so close. So I swam up so close to it, about 10 feet away. And then I got scared. Because when you see that huge animal with the eyeball just staring at you, you're like, you're not going to do anything to me, but you're huge. I just started backing up. And my buddies, like, we're just there, everyone's just like looking at it, and it moves fast, surprisingly, and it just kept on circling us. People are watching it, and we spent the next 30 minutes staring at a giant mola, and then it just swam off into the distance. So that would be my other most memorable wildlife here in Monterey, is that mola staring at you with big eye, just totally creepy. But yeah,